it is so appropriate that we have this name in a Gujarati home. Madhura means sweet. And Gujaratis are known for seeing good in everything. Not good, good. So Madhuram means sweet. Madhu means honey, actually. So Madhuram, Madhum Rati iti Madhuraha. That which brings the sweetness. And we know there is a Madhurashtakam of Krishna also. Adaram, Madhuram, you might have heard that. Bhagavan himself is so sweet. And Bhagavad-Gita, who sings the glory of Bhagavan, is definitely sweet. See, any preparation you make, you put 1 spoon of sugar, the whole texture of it changes. Right? And therefore, Bhagavad-Gita, which sings the glory of the Lord, who is sweet, must be sweet only. So the name given to Bhagavad-Gita is Madhuraayai. Madhuram also means melody, melodious. Madhura Geetam, you say melodious song. And what is melody? It removes melancholy. When our mind is disturbed, when our mind is agitated, etc., when you listen to some music, it calms down. In all the Indian movies, for anything they sing only. Whether it is a joyful occasion or a sad occasion, there will be at least 4 or 5 songs. Or when we go to any festival, there is always song. For marriage, there is song. For children just born, naming ceremony of the child, there is song. So, as a part of our culture, we have Geetam. So, Bhagavan also gave a Gita. When Arjuna was sad. Think about it. Somebody is sad and you start singing. That is to say, don't worry. You are just thinking wrong. That's all. In Gita, we find there are 2 chandas that are used. Chandas means meter. A song must have structure. Otherwise, it will be a prose. Anything that you want to say, you can say poetically also, as a statement also, prose also. But when you say it as a poetic form, it remains in our head more longer. Those who have grown up in India will know. Washing powder. What is it? Tell me. So why are you saying? There are so many washing powders. Why do you say Nirma? Because see, that is already set in your head, because you constantly listen to that and it's in the form of a song. Tide is there, surface, so many things are there. Why do you say that? See, that is how they catch that attention. And the music, when they put it. So, any poem, according to Sanskrit literature, must have chandas. Chandas means meter. Meter means every quarter must have certain syllables. And there are many such hundreds of chandas are there. Indian literature, Hindu literature is filled with such rich compositions. And why the meter is important? Because once you know the syllables involved in each pada, you cannot miss the letters. If somebody goes wrong, you immediately note it. Because he either missed the syllable, or he has replaced a shorter syllable with a longer syllable, etc. A lot of technical points are there. So if you look at Bhagavad-Gita, it has only two sets of meters. One is called Anushtup, another is called Trishtup. Anushtup Chandas or Trishtup Chandas. Why I am saying this is that the beauty and then joyful Geetam given by God, Bhagavan, is also set to meter, so that it is easy for us to remember. In Anushtup Chandas, there are 8 syllables. In each quarter, there are 24 syllables. 8 plus 6, 16, 32 syllables. When it is 24, it is Gayatri. And there is Trishtup Chandas, where it's 11 per pada, and there are 44. So this way is the calculation. Anyway. So when a mind is disturbed, agitated, sad, then the music appeases it. So whenever you are feeling low, etc., so put on some music. At least the mind remains calm. And it is even scientifically proven that the waves, theta, beta waves that are there in the mind are synchronized. When it is synchronized with the external node, it is also a medicine to the mind. It cures the mind. It actually acts as a therapy. Music therapy is also there. But Bhagavan's Gita, Bhagavad Gita is not a melody for the mind, it is melody for the soul. Now the word soul, you should understand. Soul in Vedanta is subtle body. Our mind and intellect together make a subtle body. Physical body, which all of us I can see you. I can see your physical body. This is called Stula Sharira. Stula means gross. But each one of us and our own self, we know that I have feeling, emotion, thoughts, ideas, opinion, knowledge. This constitute subtle body. That is called Sukshma Sharir. This Sukshma Sharir is that one which leaves this physical body. At the end of the life, when the body is no more living, what does it mean? The subtle body leaves this physical body and goes to the next one. This is how Vedanta and all the Hindu scriptures talk about this. In fact, all religion talk about this. Otherwise, there's somebody's coughing, somebody's not well. So the concept of hell and heaven in any religion belong to subtle body. Because body is gone here, finished. So the song given by the Lord, Bhagavan, Bhagavad-Gita, is meant for the soul. How the soul can be appeased. Even though the question raised by Arjun is about a problem. How do I solve a problem of to fight or not to fight, and why do I need to fight, etc. Bhagavan begins his teaching by giving him reasons why he should undertake his duty. But much more than that, he said how to face death, how to face inevitabilities of life, how to face challenges of life, how to face tragedies of life, how to face worries of life. All of us go through many different problems at home, at work, in the society, with the children, with the spouse, with the boss, with the neighbors. But these are all to be understood as temporary. Nothing remains forever. So how our soul, subtle body, can transcend such issues and look ahead for something very lofty, something higher, something greater, something beyond life and death. That, therefore, Bhagavad-Gita is a melodious song for the soul. That is why it is called Madhuraayai Namah. The word Madhu, different from Mathura. So Mathura is also there up in the north. That is M-A-T-H, not M-A-D-H. In Sanskrit, Mathura is different from Madhura. Mathura is a city ruled by a human being, a man. Bhagavan Krishna has a human avatar, had ruled that or stayed there. That's called Mathura. Whereas Madhura is beauty, it is sweet. You should understand the difference. Now, what kind of a knowledge that we should really gain in our life? It is said, one of the compositions of Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he says, Tatyanam prashamakaram yadindriyanam tatnyeyam yat upanishatsu nischita artham. Te dhanya bhuvi paramartha nischitehaha saishast brahmanileye paribhramantaha. This is what he says. We should learn that knowledge, tat jnanam, yad indriyanam prashamakaram. That which make our mind and the senses to become quiet. Knowledge is that which should make you quiet, not agitate. And that is the correct knowledge. But what kind of knowledge we get in the TV and the news and the newspaper, and what is that? It only excites us, disturbs us. Isn't it all the time? War here, war there, conflict here, down at home, to your own city, to your own country, political disturbances all the time. So when we listen to these things, do you think our mind is quiet? It gets agitated, it becomes restless, it becomes insecure, it becomes afraid, frightened. What will happen? I mean, even as we think that today's world, we are somehow managing to, what about our children? They have to live in this world which is more and more conflict on everything. So we should seek that knowledge, tat jnanam prashamakaram, which quietens indriyana of all our mind and the senses. Tat jneyam, what is to be known. Yad upanishatsu nischita artham, what is given to us by the great scriptures called Upanishads. Because when we look at our life only as a very short vision, any time when we look at our life with a very short-term goals, we always get agitated. When we have a vision about a long-term goal, we find ourselves able to adjust to the present immediate problems. See, like for example, I always give this as an example. Let us say that you are going from here for the Thanksgiving or Christmas holidays, you are going to India, right? So you have to travel for 24, 26 hours or so, 23, 24 hours. And sitting in the small little place, 24. Would you not do that? Why? Because I'm going to meet my parents or my relatives, or I'm going for a marriage, or I'm going to meet all my friends. So when you have that as the goal, you don't mind going through the inconveniences. Right? So always people say, Swamiji, while going we have no problem. While coming back we feel more tired. Why it is so? Because back to the same thing, again back to the routine. So you feel that coming back is a long time to come back. While going it looks like quick. It is because this goal is exciting. What you are anticipating is something which you cherish. In the same way, when we keep a goal which is inspiring, which makes us feel excited, joyful, happy, then you don't mind going through the vicissitudes of daily life. So Bhagavan Krishna says, keep a very lofty goal. For a subtle body, which is subject to birth and death all the time. Oh. I have to adjust my place. Oh. Subject to birth and death, I should understand this subtle body is going to travel a long time. This physical body is only for a short time. This is going to be there for some time. After that, I am going to leave this. After that, I am going to go further. My journey is so long. And in this short journey which I have right now, as son of somebody, daughter of somebody, etc., it's only a short time. When we realize this, even when we go through certain problems that come in our daily life, etc., we say, even this will pass away. Gurudev always said that. Even this will pass away. Remind yourself again and again and again and again. And then alone you can face the problems with a smile. Chalo, alright, theek hai. We'll meet it. But when we don't have a lofty goal, when you don't have a longer vision, you should have a Doordarshan. Not that. Doordarshan means a longer vision. What we have is Doordarshan. A very short, very confined vision of life. Now, so that is the difference between a samsarin and a sannyasin. A samsarin has a very short goal. A sannyasin has got a lofty goal. When we say sannyasin does not mean one who renounced everything. That's what usually it means. Sannyasa means having a greater vision about life. A broader vision, a lofty vision, a vision that it transcends birth and death. Therefore, immediate situations he is immediately able to get out. He detaches very easily. In today's world, what happened is that we want everything to be done very quickly. We don't have the patience to wait for things. Even before the fruit is ripe, we pluck it when it is not even ripe and artificially ripen it. Is it not that we do? If you leave the fruit in the tree itself, what happens when it becomes ripe? Tell me. It detaches itself. Not true? You don't need to plug. Detached. That is to say, when you are ripe, you are detached. When you are unripe, you have to be plugged. So a ripe person, meaning what? One who is mature in thinking, is naturally detached. That is the difference between sannyas and a samsara. For a person who is a samsarin, it is difficult for such a person to think of letting go. Because the maturity is not there. When the mind has become mature, that's what is the true knowledge is about. The knowledge makes you mature in such a way that you are able to detach from simple pinpricks of life, everyday life, very easily. And therefore, such a person alone, whose subtle body alone, is able to enjoy the beauty that is there everywhere. The life becomes madhuram, full of sweetness. And then the Gita is that which gives us. Right. Actually, if you look at the, Chamaka Prashna, Rudram Chamakam, those who know, Madhu Manishye, Madhu Janishye, Madhu Bhakshyami, Madhu Adishyami, Madhu Madim Devi. It's beautifully at the end, it gives Madhu Manishye. Let me think about what is sweet. Madhu Janishye. Let me do what is sweet. Madhu Bhakshyami. May I carry on everything for the God which is sweet. Madhu Vadishyami. I will speak what is sweet. Devebhya, for God. See, when you, that's in our tradition, whatever we give to the Lord must be sweet. Isn't it? As I said, especially from Gujarat, everywhere they put sweet. Usually what you do to Bhagavan should be sweet. When you are thinking about Bhagavan, is also sweet. When you speak about Bhagavan, it is sweet. When you do for Bhagavan, it is sweet. That is the Madhurata. So, therefore, Bhagavad-Gita sweetens the soul. Just like a song, any song, a piece quietens, calms the mind. Bhagavad-Gita quietens and sweetens the soul by giving a long vision, a loftier vision, a vision that transcends the physical birth and death of life, but the death of body. Because the subtle body, which is called the soul, is on a constant travel towards its final destination. What is the final destination? Just like any river, from wherever it is born, final destination is to ocean only. All rivers finally end where? To the ocean. And when it reaches the ocean, it is no more the river. Right? The river loses itself. You know why it is called river? Because it cannot reverse. It cannot go back. It has to go in one direction only. That's a poor joke. So all rivers are having only one goal: reach the ocean. And interesting thing is, when it reaches the ocean, it's no more the individual. It loses itself. Whether it's Kaveri or Ganga, Sindhu or Jailam or Jailam, what you call, Brahmaputra or Saraswati, every river, when it reaches the ocean, disappears. I was recently in Kanyakumari, just last week at this time I was there. There you can see the three mighty oceans meeting there. Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, and Indian Ocean. And the vast amount of water. When you look at that vastness of the water, where is it coming from? All the rivers, whichever is flowing, whichever part of the India, they have reached the nearest point of the river, ocean, and that ocean finally reaches the Indian Ocean, right? Arabian and Bay of Bengal, everything is merged into that. So that very ocean where the three oceans have met is the very abode of all the rivers, right? Everything is there. And the interesting thing is that very same water alone gets evaporated and becomes clouds, spreads further, going into the mountains, pours down again. This is an eternal cycle. Because nobody can produce new water. The water is always there. Whether in the form of a snow or in the form of water, a drinkable water, or a saline water in the ocean. So the water constantly repeats itself. So too, the souls keep repeating themselves. Until it merges into the ocean and never to turn back. That is called moksha. So the river's moksha is in ocean. Soul's moksha is in Bhagavan. And in Vedanta, what we see is that very moksha, which is merging with Bhagavan, need not have to be at the end of your physical body's death. When your mind is able to think about the Lord intensely within its own self, here itself one will be able to reach the Lord's abode and merge with Him. And such is the nature of Mahatmas. The great saints are those whose mind is already merged with God. And therefore, their agenda is not personal agenda. Their agenda is Bhagavan's will. Such are the rare Mahatmas like Gurudev Swami Chinmayanananda or Swami Ishwarananda, Tapovanji Maharaj, and such other great masters who lived and taught to the masses, are those people who had no personal agenda. Guruji or Swami Tejomayanandaji used to say, "Janda leke koi ghumta nahi, personal janda nahi hai." There are no their own flag. They do not have individuality anymore. There is no janda, only agenda. No agenda. Agenda. No agenda. So they have only one. Ishwara Ichcha. So such people alone can remain with their mind merged with Bhagavan. So therefore, whatever they say is expression of the beauty and sweetness of the Lord. Bhagavan Krishna also says, Atmanye Atmana Tushtaha Sthita Prajnastadocchate. Their mind is completely merged with Bhagavan. In Gita it is said, Yam labdva cha param labam manyate na atikam tataha yasmin sthito na dukkena guruna api vicharyate. Yam labdva, having gained which? Na adikam labam. There is nothing more to gain. Manyate na adikam. Nothing more to gain. Yasmin sthito na dukkena, having stayed in which no sorrow can touch them. All sorrows are for those who have very short visions of life, short ideas about life, short agenda, goal of life. Don't you say that your child also, when it has not won some game or not done that well in the exam, doesn't matter, next time you'll do better. You always give a encouragement to the child, do better next time. That is the only way to come out of the immediate setbacks or failures. Similarly, we have to tell ourselves, in this life, mein kuch nahi hota, agle janam mein dekhenge. So, Hindus have got that, solace. Is janam mein nahi hoga. Agle janam mein main sannyas banta hoga. That's what you said last time also, but nothing happened. Krishna says, Sukam atyantikam yatyad buddhi grahyam atindriyam. Veti yatra nacha evayam sthitas chalati tatvadaha. This beginningless, endless sukam, that is called the madhurata, beauty and the sweetness of the Lord. Beginningless and endless. Just like the ocean has no beginning or end. So that is Bhagavad-Gita, which gives us the sweetness to the soul. Madhuraayai Namah. The next name is Puneetaayai Namah. Puneeta means that which purifies. Now you see, every day we do clean our body. Not all of them, but most of them. So you clean the physical body. Do you think it is pure, it remains pure? Next day it becomes impure again. The sweat and the dirt and the physical body, its exertion, all of them again impure, makes the body impure. Again you take shower. You feel so fresh when you take a shower and then soap laga ke, shampoo laga ke, you feel so fresh. After some time, slowly the sweat and again it's impure. Again you have to take shower. So for physical body, we feel very uncomfortable when it is, when you have a long day or you have traveled for a whole day, etc. Then you feel so physically not, fresh. So go and take a shower and feel good. What about your mind? When do you take bath of the mind? क्या बात है? क्या बात है? क्या बात कर सकते हो? What can you do for the mind to become clean? Because that also gets impure by its own thoughts, by thoughts given by others, or what you observe, what you look into the world. Everything gets into our head. That's why this mantra, right? We chant Om Bhadram Karne Vishruniyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyema Akshabirya Jatraha. What is mean by that? May I see what is pure. May I hear what is pure. But it's not your choice. The people around you may not always talk good things. I mean, when you go and look at the TV or read the newspaper or when you talk to people, not always you get a good news or palatable ones. So mind gets impure very easily. And such a mind, when you come home and when you are by yourself, what do the mind think about whatever it has already taken in? Correct or not? It is like what you took into your body alone, it can digest. Similarly, your mind, whatever it has perceived or experienced during the day, that alone it will keep repeating itself. If you have heard something very bad news or such, it keeps repeating itself in your mind. So Bhagavad-Gita says, unless you purify your mind, you cannot meditate. You cannot really think about God unless the mind has gained the ability to purify itself. So, Bhagavad-Gita gives us the ways and means to purify the mind. With an impure mind, Bhagavan would not come to you. Because he will first ask, are your mind pure? Then I will come. If your mind is unclean with so many impure thoughts and evil thoughts, I'll stay away from it. So here, in Bhagavad Gita, the methodology given by Bhagavan is, karma can purify you. Action done properly can purify your mind. There is an intimate connection between karma and mind. Because Arjuna asked this question in chapter 3, beginning itself, Jayasi chet karmanaste matha buddhir janardana tat kim karmani gore mamni jayasi keshava. Krishna, you are talking about the highest goal of moksha to me, but you are putting me into a terrible action of killing people, war. Why? If I have to gain moksha to reach Bhagavan, then I should be sitting and meditating, right? Is it not true? That I must withdraw myself and go to a quiet corner in solitude and chant the name of the Lord or meditate upon the Lord or learn from a teacher how to quieten the mind and then reach you. Why are you putting me into this war? Jayasi means better. Karmanaha te buddhihi. Than the action, buddhi is greater. Knowledge is greater. Tat kim karmani gore, which is a terrible war, mam niyojayasi. Why are you putting me into this? Bhagavan Krishna smiles and said, you must get prepared to sit down. And you cannot sit down for meditation to quieten the mind unless your mind has understood that karma has limitations. And that is possible only when you engage in action with no anxiety about the result. That is the only way you will come to realize the limitations of action. Otherwise, you may go and sit down in meditation only to think about action. I should have done this. That Karna fellow, I should have killed him. Somebody asked me this question. Why Krishna wanted Arjuna to kill Karna? Do you know that? Why Krishna wanted Arjuna to kill Karna? Tell me. Anybody? Huh? Two? Unbeatable. Okay. You know why? You want to know? Karna hai. Yeah, that's a poor joke again. Because, see, even though Krishna knew that he is a brother, very well he knew, but Arjuna should not know that. If Arjuna knows he is my elder brother, he would not do it. Krishna played many games. So, because he is supporting Duryodhan, because he is supporting the wrong cause, he had to eliminate him. So, if Arjun does not engage in the war and he goes into solitude to remember God or do anything, his mind being not mature will still think about what he did not do. You know, that happens to us also when you sit for meditation. After sitting there, did I put the decoction? After meditation, I want coffee, right? Hey, Papa, milk name. No, I have to go and get the milk also. So, now you see, you are sitting for meditation. What you are thinking about, what you could have done, what you should be doing, or what you did not do. So, the mind is not mature enough to let go. Okay, it doesn't matter. No. Why? That is the impurity. An impure mind cannot remain calm. Therefore, Krishna said, it is better, Arjuna, go to fight than you go to solitude. And in the fighting, do it for a higher purpose. Not for killing these people. Think that you are standing for Dharma. Think that you are doing Bhagavan's work. Think that you are doing your duty because you are the only person who can complete the job. Bhagavan has given me this particular role for me to complete this job, and I am, for the sake of the Lord, fulfilling my duty. Then you will see your mind, even while at work, becomes calm. And such a mind, which has completed its work with a detachment, with dedication to the Lord, can sit down. But only when you sit down, you remember again what are the further things you have not completed. Until you completely grow out of it, your mind will not be fully available. Chittasya shuddhaye karma. Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Chitta shuddhyartam karma. To purify the mind is action. Na vastu upalabdaye, not for merely gaining things in the world. That's why Bhagavan Krishna also says in Gita, Kayena manasa buddhya kevalair indriye rabi yogina karma kurvanti sangam tektva atma shuddhaye. With the mind, with the body, with the senses, etc., men of great understanding, they engage in action only to purify themselves. Mind, when does it get purified? When it is not agitated, when it is not disturbed, when it is not anxious. Now, I am talking to you all about this subject matter, and what is my belief that you are all listening, right? Right? Can I test that? Can I test? How many of you listen to what I said so far? I don't, because I'll be very disappointed. Therefore, I'm not anxious at all, whether you're listening at all or not. Because I cannot decide whether you should listen or not. Can I? Because your mind may be in various places. I cannot decide. None of us can decide anybody else's mind. So it is foolishness on my part to think that you are all listening. You may be, but it is foolishness to expect that. So what I do my best and leave that anxiety about whether you are listening or not to yourself. Maybe you may be listening. If you are interested, you may listen. If you are not interested, I cannot force you. Similarly, when we do any action, do it with utmost sincerity and let it happen. And when we start practicing this, best comes out of us. Our efficiency increases. Because the mind being not anxious, you are able to perform well. That is a secret. So by thus not being anxious, doing best in your life, such a mind has come out of that agitation, disturbance, disappointments, etc., can sit down quietly at the end of the day or whenever you want with absolutely quiet and calm. Because there is no disappointment, there is no failure, there is no anxiety. And he says, Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim mastita janakadaya. Even the great people like Janaka, etc., they have obtained their greatness only by doing action. It is said, the story goes like this. Vyasa's son was Shuka. And Vyasa wanted to teach him. And Vyasa, being a great scholar and a great man of knowledge, he wanted to test whether Shuka is ready for it. So he says to Shuka, you go to Janaka and he will train you. Shuka was very, doubtful. He said, he's a king. He's not a renunciate. He's not a sannyasin. How can he teach me? He's a man who is busy with his work. It's a king. How can he teach me? Vyasa only smiled and said, you go. Find it. So, when he reached the abode of Janaka kingdom, the soldiers outside stopped him. Why are you here? Who are you? He says, I am Vyasa's son and I am here to meet the king. Okay, wait, we'll go and tell him. So they went inside and then told that Shuka has come, Vyasa's son has come too. Okay, send him in. So Janaka met with Shuka. I know why Vyasa sent you to me to train you. All right, so what you do is you take a bowl of oil and put it on your head, the bowl, and walk around the palace for an hour and come back without a single drop of oil falling on the floor. So, this is a training. Anyway, he took the oil and in a thing and then he put it on his head and started to walk in the palace. In the palace, there are many things that were happening. There were some places where training for the soldiers were happening. In some places, they were preparing garlands. Some places, they were doing the decoration. Some places, there were very beautiful girls were dancing there. And one place, some people were taking a shower bath there in the pond there. And some other place, singing was going on. So, 1 hour he walked and then came back. So Janaka looked at him and said, he looked at it and then obviously there was not a single drop had fallen. So he said, yes, very good, you did that. What all the things you saw? What is there to see? All my attention was on this. Because if I turned by mistake, it would have, tripped. So I was so careful. Making sure that I don't distract my attention to anything else. I must keep track of the bowl of oil on my head. That is what is called attention of the mind, and that can happen only when your mind is not distracted by anything else. That is a pure mind. A pure mind is an attentive mind. Gurudev always said that. A mind which is pure means what? It is alert. It is attentive. An impure mind is distracted. And in Gita itself, it says, Avyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha guru nandana. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha guru nandana. Bahushakahi anantasaha buddhihi avyavasayinam. A cultivated mind is one-pointed, an uncultivated mind is distracted. So Bhagavad-Gita teaches us how to prepare the mind. Everybody wants to meditate, but when they sit down only, they realize they can't. It is not just being quiet. Being quiet means you go and go to sleep, no? It's not just being quiet, being attentive, alert. Meditation is not just to sit down and close your eyes. It is being alert and attentive about who you are. And that is possible only when the mind is calm and quiet and collected. And Bhagavan Krishna gives himself as an example. Na me karmani limpanti, na me karma phale spruha, iti yo abhijanati, karma bir nasabhadyate. Even as you look at me, Arjuna, I am there in this very battlefield where you are also. But whatever I do, nothing affects me. Na me karmani limpanti. Actions do not touch me. Nacha karma phale spruha, because I have no anxiety about result. Itimam yo abhijanati. One who knows this and follows the same way, karma bihi, even when he does action, nabadyate, is not bound. So, Bhagavad-Gita teaches us about how to purify the mind, how to engage in action, not run away from it, not go to the solitude and escape from the world. No. If you are given certain things as your responsibilities, those responsibilities you have taken up in your life as a husband, as a wife, as a parent, these are all responsibilities you took. Nobody gave it to you. You have taken those responsibilities. When you walked into the, to get engaged or get married, it is you have taken the responsibility. Don't say, my parents did it. No, you did it. And getting children also, you did it. So therefore, what is being taken by you on your own consciously is called responsibility. Those responsibilities, fulfill it with great cheerfulness, because you have taken it up, you have to fulfill it. Similarly, Arjun, you being a warrior in this war field, taken up the responsibility of protecting your own kingdom, do it. With no anxiety, do your best. And that way your mind becomes pure, and that is how one should engage in this world. This is how Bhagavan Krishna had directed, even though Arjuna wanted to escape, run away. Krishna said, no. It is like this, when my cloth is impure or some dirt is there, the only way to overcome dirt is put a soap. Soap is also dirt only. Solid, new, with some scent. That's also dirt only. No? It's also made up of mud only. Chemicals. But that soap I use only to remove the dirt. And once that removal of the dirt takes place, I have to remove the soap also. Oh, my dear soap, you removed the dirt. You stay back. No. So once the cloth is to be made clean, I have to not only remove the dirt with the soap, and the soap also has to be removed. In the same way, karma is meant for purifying the mind. And once your mind has become pure, even karma should end. And it won't end by itself. Unless you become mature enough to go above that. And you find the actions that you have been doing, slowly you realize they are not any more important to me, and I am aspiring for something higher. So those actions will slowly drop away. Only when we become mature, we see them more no more relevant to us. So this way, Bhagavad-Gita is Puneetaha. Puneetaayai Namah. So we saw two names today. Madhuraayai Namah, the sweet. That sweet, it gives sweetness to the soul. And how to reach the destination, like the river reaches the destination called the ocean, so too the souls have to reach the destination called Bhagavan. And that is where it fulfills itself. Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to reach the Bhagavan, who is the final destination. Also, it teaches us how to purify the mind, so that through karma, so that our mind can find its joyful inner calmness in the seat of meditation. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.